cars.
Honestly,
They were very angry.
very angry.
That's why I bring you in, madam. And you don't like my condemnation of the smashing of the cars. Why were you doing that?
Thank you very much for having me on the show, Paul. I think students are grateful. Your question, in fact, when I got here, and to me, and if I'm to be honest with you, I felt you already taking stance. I don't know if that is the stance of your outfits, but that's how it sounded. Like there are quick condemnations of the very acts of students, and maybe these acts in themselves are regrettable. But this is what everybody is saying. The condemnations are bad. It wasn't supposed to happen in the first place. My question is, what really were students supposed to do when we had individual students who had protested silently? There was no violence. When the SRC has led the whole student body to, let the ward, the student administration, the school administration know what really students are going through. And these protests, silent protests, were not adhered to. Really, this is a question to
So you smash somebody's car?
No, what would you have students do?
You bend the tires like we used to do.
We should have rather took out the tires from the car.
You find your own old tires and block the traffic in front of KNUST.
You actually recounted instances during your time where students were aggrieved. And this time, we are not only aggrieved, we are hurt. We are not being given the opportunity to let out our grievances. And even when we do, nobody listens. That's the situation, and it's quite unfortunate. The media, everybody else is really showcasing videos of student vandalism and what have you. What you are not showing is student brutality. Like you show less of it and you show more of the wrong students have done. And that in itself tells everyone else that you guys have shifted focus from how students feel. That students over the years have been undermined in so many ways throughout the country. And sad that we preach that the youth are the future of the country, and these very people are not listened to when they feel their heads. And you want to blame us? What really, what were we supposed to do?
You were supposed to march, block the tires, draw public attention to your plight.
At the presence of
by
gunshots,
blocking the traffic that runs in front of your school. You don't have a right to go and burn my car.
So the school or security have rights to brutalize students?
No, they don't.
Do you know how come this conversation is even happening today?
No.
Because
students,
of what
you did.
That's it.
Yeah.
It means
because
that
you burnt cars.
It means that even when these brutalities were ongoing, you guys never heard of it.
No, we didn't. You didn't tell us.
Oh, really?
No, you didn't.
There was a court issue.
Yeah,
the media never
heard.
The media never had students were in court.
We had it. But
the media never heard of silent protesters because they were all over social media.
No, we didn't hear. You didn't draw attention to me.
No.
You sent petitions to the Chancellor.
You picked out what was of interest.
And the Minister, yeah.
You picked out what was of interest to you. And definitely, it wasn't about how students felt. It wasn't about student grievances. It was about your interest, trying to portray out that the students are evil. But trust us, once in the life of these young people who were non-violent, who were law-abiding, until we felt, look, these people are not ready to really go or do the things they've been preaching. We've been told that when we are aggrieved, we should let out our voices there. We should come to the table and have these discussions. After these discussions, and we are not seeing anything. Again, Paul, I ask, what should students do? Because all the other alternatives that have been suggested all over again are alternatives students have exhausted. So what should we do? That's the question. Until we answer that question, every condemnations and every other comment that says students are evil, that these rights of students are not justified and what have you, is very unfair. And you can't claim that, after tonight we really shouldn't be partial. This whole discussion is an impartial one where we'll know where to blame afterwards. When already you feel students don't have a right to exercise
to vandalize their cars.
That's it. When you've not questioned why the security.
And we are hearing it for the first time, and we are questioning it. I'm wondering why the Vice Chancellor is saying that
you cannot have
whole week.
You should have listened to the students before really taking stands.
You didn't do a press conference.
I was here.
You should have done a press conference.
I was here, Paul.
The SRC president should have addressed the press conference in Kumasi and tell the media that this was happening on our campus.
The SRC did what it was supposed to do at every point in time. Now the problem is the media didn't follow this up.
Well, once they found out that the SRC found out they were not being listened to, and students found out, they should have done a press conference to speak to the whole country.
Did the SRC come out there to the media that students have vandalized school properties.
No, we found out.
That's the point. So how come the media never found out
because
that
the
students
national
were being
security told
brutalized?
us, the regional security, RECSEC, told us that they had to call an emergency
you could have
meeting
also
because
waited.
students are misbehaving.
You could have also waited for national security. Oh, the national security actually informed the students are
well, they
misbehaving
published
on
that
campus.
they are calling an emergency meeting because there's a problem on KNUST campus. Soldiers are
And I
going
even
there.
have a
so
problem.
we came there to find out, and we saw that you were misbehaving.
Really?
Yeah, you were, my dear. You were. I'm sorry, but you were.
I'm personally saddened.
I'm sorry.
Somebody passed a comment somewhere that what we've done as students. Anyway, let me opine and be straightforward. These acts were rather unfortunate because the protest was supposed to be
you are worried that the world didn't hear your cry. But when you are reacted, everybody's criticizing you. That's your worry. I get it. I get it. But then I'm saying that you should have done a press conference and tell the media that this is what is happening on campus, and that if the people don't throw light on this, what might happen, we can't control it. You didn't do that.
Paul, I was going to say something just now that's, you know, after these whole issues and the protests and all, the school came out, the national security came out, and this was the statement that they're going to close down the school.
They have closed it down now.
They've closed down the school. I'm actually trying to recount when it, like...
very quickly we have to...
Yes, they've closed down the school because school properties have been damaged.
Yes.
Not because students have been, like, brutalized.
Yeah.
So the whole
part that you are worried that we are
students,
putting property ahead of human beings.
We've shifted focus from the fact that in this country, the system does not allow for discourse. What the system allows or listens to is violence. That is what we should focus this particular discussion, and not necessarily whether or not students had right to be radical or not. We should question the system. In the 21st century, if students had to resort to violence to actually get the authorities' attention, the whole nation's attention, the media, you and everybody else talking about this issue, then there's a problem. And the problem isn't about the student. The problem is the system.
Okay,
that's what we should question.
We'll have a drink after. I don't think you have anything to add. I have 2 more interviews to do tonight, so let's leave it and let's have a drink after and have a chat. Okay, so after the break, I will be talking to my psychologist and one other student, Dr. Kenton is coming in shortly, and then we'll still open the phone lines. Hopefully, our director will give us some 5 minutes more. We'll be right back.